Hello everyone, this is Simon from Hytera. Thank you for joining this session. Today I would like to talk about Hytera's perspective of how this industry is moving forward in the 4G and 5G era. Clearly, we don't have a crystal ball to look into the future, but I think our industry experience, observation of the technology evolution, and the adoption across the world will lead us to a clearer picture. Communication technology are booming, evolving faster than ever before. Lots of new concepts coming into this industry. Also, the technical fence is getting lower, so the playground for us is getting bigger. So it brings lots of new opportunities, new possibilities, both to end user or to the vendors in this industry. In the past, when we talk about critical communication, the answer is always very straightforward. Everybody has the same idea about what is it and how to use it, because that is all we need to do. It's a product solution, but meantime, it provides one service, which is push to talk. It's basic, but it's always reliable, always available, no surprises whatsoever. However, with the booming of technologies, critical communication technologies are used to realize the basic services in extreme situations will not suffice in daily duties. People need more than voice sometimes. Sometimes they need to understand the situation from different level, from different dimension, different sources or different sensors. Also, the data is not only from a human to human. More likely, it will be like M to M, machine to machine, or even M to X, machine to everything. We see the demand is always there. That's the reason why we want to look into the future technology for this industry. Here we can see that for the PMR and public cellular network, for both of them, they are evolving to an open standard, hybrid network solution, which brings PMR and cellular together as one platform. And above that platform, it is the ecosystem and applications. Based on this fundamental, we put it as 2 plus 5 plus N to describe our outlook of the future. We have customers around the world that are different. They are from different countries. They have different economical structure, different decision-making process, and they have their own legacy from the previous investment of the communication devices and equipment. So the requirements are totally diversified. So when we talk about what is the future of this industry, we know from day one that a single solution or single technology cannot fit all. It should be the other way around. Integrating different technologies to fit into their platform, their scenario. That's why it will be 2 plus 5 plus N. Here 2 for 2G based TETRA, 5 for 5G. N stands for the solutions for vertical markets. So we are going to go to some details later on. Just like the Lego pieces, select what you need, select what makes sense for you. The key is how we can get the best of each technologies and set them up as one interconnected network. We just need to be prepared and ready to roll. But when we talk about 2 plus 5 plus N, the fundamental is always critical communication. So that's why we talk about TETRA first. Since the very first generation of network were deployed back in the 90s, TETRA has been the most successful digital trunking standard for professional users. It is a true open standard, and it creates a very successful and healthy multi-vendor chain. And the reason why it is so successful is because it does meet the essential needs for critical communication users, and it is not replaceable. We need to understand what is really important for our customers. One thing is very clear, that the greatest availability, reliability, and security comes from the dedicated network. And they are specially designed to meet the high-level requirement. Which TETRA is always trusted. The end user can have full control of the system. And the product and service is always available, and they also last long. A system with 99.99% monthly average network availability is not going to come from a commercial operator. So although a dedicated system means a big investment of CapEx and also means a dedicated spectrum, but still, everybody goes that way. TETRA, it is widely adopted in many vertical markets like public safety, transportations, utility, governments, and so on. Vendors like Hytera, together with many system integrators and partners, provide solutions to public safety and industry users. We spend time and effort together with them. We understand what they need. We understand their requirement. This makes our expertise extremely valuable, especially for some potential business like broadband business. Again, being trusted, always available, and it has a great number of references around the world. TETRA is always the best option for critical communication users. Not only for today, I'm talking about for at least for the next 5 years. And it is not replaceable by broadband technology. So I don't think it does make sense for critical communication users to wait for other technology. Just go for it. But when customers need more than voice, that will be another story, such as real-time data transfer, multimedia, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence. In that case, broadband communication comes into the stage. With larger bandwidth for data, broadband applications make the user life and job much easier, especially for daily routine duties. That's why we go to the chapter number 3, broadband and MCX. Actually, when we talk about broadband communication, we talk about two things: broadband infrastructure and broadband applications. In the PMR world, for example, for TETRA, they're together, they're one thing. But for broadband, they're separate. Broadband infrastructure provides capability, and broadband application provides possibility. The possibility to use the capability of broadband data to provide better services for critical communication users and other verticals. So when we talk about broadband communication for this industry, the question already changed from can it work to what we're going to do with it once it arrives. One example, for example, in the map, there are two models of deployment of public safety broadband infrastructure around the world. The first one is dedicated network, like FirstNet in the States and SafeNet in South Korea. Like TETRA, customers have full control of it. It is safe and secure. As long as there's no concern about the big investment and dedicated spectrum, it is a good way to go. And another solution is the shared broadband network using broadband data provided by a commercial cellular provider or cellular carrier, like ESN plans to do in the UK. For the shared broadband network, customers sometimes prefer to use or to work with an MVNO or a secure MVNO for security control and for management of the data flow for that kind of consideration. And also, if in some places the coverage of the commercial carrier is not very good, they can also use the hybrid mode which means dedicated system for key areas, and MVNO with cellular for wide area. Hytera has always been focused on mission-critical communication. One common choice for critical communication on the broadband system is MCX, Mission Critical Services. It is called mission critical because different from an OTT, over-the-top, push-to-talk application, it uses dedicated barrier and a special QCI level to ensure the reliability and availability of the critical users. Also similar with TETRA standard, MCX is an open standard. MCX is defined by 3GPP, starting from release version R13. At that time, there's only like mission critical push to talk, and right now it is already R16. And also there is a plot test process from 3GPP. The idea is just to guarantee the compatibility among the different vendors. I think it was the fifth plug test earlier this year, and Hytera has joined most of them for the all different times of plug test. And also MCS standard is still evolving with the 3GPP releases. Features like, for example, IWF, interworking function, so just like a gateway between MCS and to the narrowband, is still a very new function or specs from the 3GPP release. And also some of the functions, some of the advanced functions are still under discussion. MCX will keep getting better, but so far it is not yet the same level with TETRA, especially regarding to the mission critical performance. And here are typical components of MCS. A dedicated MCS server connected with a 4G or 5G network, and the MCS application installed on the user device and is connected to the server via also 4G or 5G, it doesn't matter, both way. And MCS server can also connect to other applications like a voice recorder, a dispatcher, or some other kind of applications. So we all talk about LTE, we talk about broadband. But when we talk about broadband, we understand that it enables mission-critical and industrial users to catch up with all sorts of data applications. And for this industry, we can see that the adoption of LTE is still at its early stage or early phases. But if we look outside, 5G is already there, and it is already in the middle of the stage. What makes it different for 5G? 5G, from bottom up, is designed for industry. It surely will lead to an even more customized communication solution for public safety and industries. That's why the next topic is 5G. In recent years, 5G has been one of the most important focus of the society. It is communication technology, but meantime, it is more than that. It brings many changes to different verticals, and it is considered as a very essential driving force of digitalization of the entire society. So if we see from the technical perspective, compared to 4G, it brings much higher throughput, way lower latency, and massive amounts of M2M connections. But to redefine the vertical market, those are some other functions make sense, like network slicing. The network slicing can provide flexible virtual network with different requirements, different specs for different customers. And the other important one is the mobile edge computing or edge computing. It gives us a chance to have the computing capability, storage, and also application servers locally, close to customer, to provide a lower latency and a better data security. That's why 80% of the 5G applications are for industry, while commercial applications are only around 20. And one of the key components of 5G to us is convergence. It converges PMR and cellular via technology like MCS or POC or network slicing. And with mobile edge computing, the border between CT and IT, communication technology and information technology, is not that clear as before. Border crossing becomes very normal for both CT and IT companies. For Hytera, we have very good knowledge and experience of CT communications. Meantime, we understand the customer, we understand the requirements. So in the new 5G ecosystem, Hytera will work with our partners. We use our expertise to connect IT applications and operation technology together for better and digitalized and smart industry. And for 5G, just gave you guys an example. There are like different ways of deploying mode here in China. The first one is like a virtual network. It is similar with MVNO, what we just talked about. It uses network slicing to separate data flow for different customers. It provides guaranteed high speed and secure network services. It will be widely adopted by some applications like live stream or AR, VR kind of applications. The second one is hybrid network. It puts the UPF, the user plane, and EMC, the edge computing, deployed on-premise, which means close to the customer in their locations. It provides low latency communication and also isolated data. It is a perfect solution for like a campus coverage of 5G. Dedicated network is another one. It's like a private TETRA system. You use dedicated spectrum and customer, they have full control. But the issue is the spectrum, you need to find the spectrum. So it is very suitable for the isolated scenario like smart mining or smart manufacturing plan, something like that. Here, a good thing that we find for our industry is that no matter for now or for the future, the most valuable resources are the insight and the experience of the vertical markets. So there will always be a nice and important role or nice and important seat for you and for us in this game. So after 5G, we can talk about maybe the future of narrowband of sub-1G. Because in the band of sub-1G, it's full of separate authorized spectrum. They are not connected, lots of interference. So that is the reason that it is not designed for broadband technology. The other thing, some of the non-critical, like low-end commercial voice communication with narrowband may partially be replaced by the broadband technology like commercial push-to-talk over cellular. So it makes some of the sub-1G spectrum available for some other possibility. For example, we can look into the possibility of data transmission and ad hoc communication in sub-1 band. In future, it would be also a good idea to have a private IoT transmission via PMR network like TETRA in the sub-1 band. Also, a low cost, low power consumption, small sized IC chipset will definitely benefit or even reshape the PMR market. So those are the topics or directions that Hytera is looking into. Again, we talk about 2 + 5 + N. For Hytera, the future is that 2 stands for 2G. It will provide voice services for critical users, always stable and available. 5 stands for 5G, and it supports high throughput, low latency, massive connections. But the tricky part is N. The right solution for verticals is not about the cutting edge technologies. It is always about how to solve the problem for different verticals. So here, the N refers to different industrial solutions based on different kind of technology to provide total solution for different vertical markets. So the end is where the possibilities are. Again, N can be technologies like AI, CDE, artificial intelligence, IoT, cloud computing, big data, edge computing, or even MCS or POC. Or it can be vertical solutions like V2X, smart grid, smart healthcare, or something like that. And here is an example of what kind of role does a solution provider like Hytera play in a game. It's a smart campus project with 2+5+N solution. First of all, we work with a local integrator. Together we provide TETRA system for critical voice. And then we work with the cellular operator to set up an edge cloud for customer with our AI edge computing box installed inside. So the whole solution provides both critical voice and massive IoT data collection. With the edge computing box, all the job can be done locally. It is very efficient. And this solution and platform is always open, is always expandable. And it brings endless possibilities for the customer. We talk about O convergence. We talk about 2+5+N. From 2G all the way to 5G, the most essential requirement of critical user is always the stable and reliable voice, especially when the communication infrastructure for public is not available. Therefore, it has been a common idea that the dedicated infrastructure such as TETRA network will keep evolving in a foreseeable future along with some other technologies. And for 5G, it is definitely opens a door for lots of solutions to solve the challenges for different verticals. For us, 2+5+N is not just a concept, it's convergence. It connects the different technologies. It's a network of networks. It's a bridge. It connects technologies to the customer's requirement. And for Hytera, it's a plan for future. For Hytera, as long as we take on the mindset of having different technology work together and embrace open standards and ecosystem, we believe that PMR industry can make sure professional users are always equipped with the right solution. That is also how we plan the road ahead and how we plan for the technology for future. So that is all my session. So if you guys are interested in any of our products or solutions, you please stop by our booth, our virtual booth. You are more than welcomed. Again, thank you very much. I appreciate your time and attention. Thank you.